Honestly, I have no idea. I was just trying to get to the handshake line and shake hands and, be grateful that my team was in that position. That's all you can do is, hold your head high, be proud of what you did, and, all the credit in the world to LSU.
Court clash with Marina Mabrey, a battle so intense it had everyone on edge. Clark was still riding the high from a game so electric the crowd erupted like a thunderstorm. A game so unpredictable that even the commentators were left frozen in silence. When she took the podium afterward, she was cool, collected, and in full command, walking everyone through her plays, giving heartfelt praise to her teammates, and soaking in every moment of her jaw-dropping performance. Everything seemed flawless until a reporter suddenly dropped an unexpected bombshell. No lead-up, no polite transition, just a blunt hit of chaos that sucked the air out of the room. The atmosphere flipped instantly, like someone had cut the music at the height of a party. Clark's expression told the story without a word, caught completely off guard, thrown into confusion, and maybe even simmering with frustration at whatever had just been tossed her way. Whatever it was, it had landed hard, and this is no ordinary rookie we are talking about. This is Caitlin Clark, the player rewriting the women's game in real time. Her handles are lethal. Her confidence radiates across the arena, and her star power is a force that refuses to be ignored. Every time she hits the hardwood, it turns into an event, not just a game. From dominating at Iowa to making waves in Indiana, Clark has kept the noise at a constant roar. The love from the fans is massive, sold-out arenas, record-smashing viewership numbers. Her face dominating highlight reels, magazine covers, and television screens. She is not simply playing under the spotlight, she is the spotlight. Yet here is where the story takes a sharp turn. For all that Caitlin Clark has done to elevate the sport, the WNBA itself is yet to truly roll out the welcome mat. No grand red carpet, no official celebration of her arrival. Instead, she finds herself met with cold stares, whispered criticism, and treated less like a rising icon and more like a disruption. Rather than uniting to celebrate her achievements, voices from every direction are taking aim. Some seasoned league veterans seem determined to dismiss her entirely. No public praise for her skill, no recognition of her impact, only deliberate silence and subtle shade. On the court, the treatment is even rougher. Officials allow defenders to go at her with reckless physicality, throwing cheap shots, hard body checks, and elbows that clearly cross the line but somehow do not draw fouls. It is almost as if the unspoken rule is that Clark is fair game, no matter how blatant the hit. What makes the situation even more glaring is the silence from the league's biggest names, the very figures who hold the power to shift the culture. No statements of support, no public defense. Nothing but the sound of crickets as the challenges stack higher. Still, through all the noise, Caitlin Clark refuses to crumble. She continues to put up numbers that rival seasoned pros, orchestrating the game like she has been doing it for years. She lets her play speak for itself, and right now her game is speaking louder than any criticism. And just when it seemed she was standing alone, a major figure has stepped into the picture, one who might just flip the entire narrative. Larry Bird, Indiana's own legend and a Hall of Famer with the battle scars to prove it, knows firsthand what it means to step into a ruthless league, shoulder the weight of a franchise, and take incoming fire from all sides. Now, he sees Caitlin Clark fighting that same battle, and Larry Bird is not content to watch from the sidelines. He is going all in, calling out players like Marina Mabrey for crossing the line with dirty plays, but also pointing his finger at the WNBA's leadership itself. He has accused them of clinging to their comfortable inner circles, instead of pushing the game forward by protecting and promoting genuine talent. To Bird, Clark is not just another rookie making a splash. She is a movement. She is the spark with the power to turn the league upside down. She is proof that greatness is not given. It is carved out in the middle of the storm. And as Clark continues to light up the court, inspire crowds across the country, Larry Bird stands firmly in her corner, ready to back her every single step of the way. Larry Bird's bold defense of Caitlin Clark is peeling back the curtain on the WNBA's shadowy politics, proving that true legends do more than play the game, they redefine it. And now, the whispers are growing louder. Bird might be on the verge of dropping something monumental. The talk, a brand new basketball empire with Caitlin Clark as its centerpiece. A project locked, loaded, and ready to shake the very foundation of the sport. This is not Bird venting in frustration. This is a calculated move, a strategic play from someone who knows how to win both on the court and behind the scenes. He is not angry without reason. He has been keeping receipts, watching every cheap foul, every shove, every elbow thrown at Clark while the league's leadership turns its head like none of it matters. To Bird, this is not just sloppy officiating, it is outright disrespect. And Larry Bird is not interested in weak promises like "we'll investigate." He wants tangible action, he wants it immediately. Insiders say his vision is massive, either crafting a fully loaded roster built entirely around Clark or going all in on, creating an entirely new league, one where raw skill, relentless hunger, and genuine passion for the sport shine without being buried under politics, jealousy, and ego. And truthfully, his reasoning is impossible to ignore. Whenever Caitlin Clark steps onto the court, the numbers skyrocket. Whenever she is absent, ratings collapse. She is not just another player on the roster, she is the beating heart of women's basketball, the main event, and arguably the single most valuable player in the league right now. But Bird's vision is not limited to her alone. He is looking at the bigger picture, the future of basketball itself. And if the WNBA refuses to protect her or give her the global platform she has earned, Bird will not simply watch from the sidelines. He is taking matters into his own hands. No press release fluff, no surface-level praise. Instead, he is calling out referees, exposing the questionable decisions at the league's top, and shining a bright light on the unfair treatment that has gone unchecked for far too long. Bird has gone deep into the grind, breaking down game footage, isolating dirty plays, and forcing the league to face the uncomfortable truth it keeps avoiding. But the story does not end there. Behind closed doors, word is that he has been laying the groundwork for something massive, something capable of sending shockwaves through the entire basketball world. To Bird, Caitlin Clark is far more than a player worth cheering for. She is an unstoppable movement, a brand, a living franchise ready to explode. And he is not just standing in her corner as a cheerleader. He is ready to lead from the front, as a coach, as a strategist, as a builder. Every brick of this potential basketball empire is being placed with Clark at its core. She is not only scoring points, she is redirecting the course of the entire sport. Bird's frustration has now evolved into a mission, one that aims to rewrite the rules both on and off the court. His warning to the league could not be louder. If the WNBA keeps ignoring Caitlin Clark's rise while allowing the behind-the-scenes mess to fester, they could lose the very player who is keeping the lights on. This is the moment for the league to step up or risk losing the one figure who is filling arenas, smashing viewership records, and bringing an entirely new generation into the fold. Caitlin Clark is not just a hooper, she is a force of nature, a walking movement in sneakers, drawing crowds so big they leave arenas buzzing hours after the final buzzer. She is turning casual viewers into lifelong supporters, and yet, instead of protecting her, the WNBA has let the situation rot. The blatant cheap shots have been brushed aside. Written off as part of the game, Clark has not been celebrated. She has been targeted, even resented. The most dangerous moment in all of this came after Marina Mabrey's blatant post-whistle hit. A moment so out of line it should have triggered an immediate league response. There should have been a penalty, a statement, something concrete. Instead, nothing, just silence. And that silence spoke volumes. It sent the wrong message, not just to Clark, but to the entire league and every fan watching. It said that the league's biggest star could be hit, harassed, and disrespected without consequence. And Larry Bird is not letting that slide. Back in his era, yes, the game was physical, but you own it. You stood tall, and you kept it real. What is happening now is not toughness, it is neglect. Meanwhile, the WNBA leadership is sitting on its hands while their most important player takes the hits. Fans are now asking the real question, will Caitlin Clark stick around? Or will she take her talents overseas, where the respect is different, or even Caitlin Clark joined forces with Larry Bird and helped build a brand new league from the ground up. Let's be real, if Caitlin walks away from the WNBA, she is taking millions of dollars in revenue, untold viewership numbers, and a massive fan base with her. She is not just part of the game, she is actively redefining it with every possession. And if Bird is standing courtside, clipboard in hand, ready to lead her into an entirely new era, nobody will be shocked. Meanwhile, the WNBA continues to stall and stumble. Larry Bird is already diagramming the next play. If the league does not move quickly, they are not just losing Clark, they are watching the future of women's basketball step out the door. His warning is growing louder with every passing day. Ignore Caitlin Clark, and you are not just losing a star player, you are gambling with the future of the league itself. Keep fumbling the ball, and Bird may decide to run the game his own way, with Clark spearheading the charge. But who exactly is Larry Bird? The man shaking up the conversation. To understand the weight of his voice, you have to know the legend behind it. Larry Bird was never just good, he was a seismic force, a once-in-a-generation game-changer. This was the man who, in the 1980s, did not merely play for the Boston Celtics, he became the Celtics. He did not just show up for games. He transformed how basketball was played, how it was watched, and how it was valued. He could take a struggling team and turn it into a dynasty. Bird restored the Celtics' glory and pushed the NBA into the global spotlight. With his deadly accurate jumper, a matched basketball IQ, and unshakable fearlessness, he was a constant threat every single time he touched the ball. His resume is carved in stone. 3-time NBA MVP, 10 Atlantic Division titles, 3 NBA championships, all accomplished in a mere 13 years on the hardwood. Born December 7th, 1956, in West Baden Springs, Indiana, Larry Joe Bird came from humble beginnings. He grew up in a working-class household with 6 children, where money was scarce and life was hard. When his parents divorced, the struggle only deepened. Yet Bird's love for the game never cracked. He was not the fastest nor the most athletic, but his work ethic was in a league of its own. While others rested, Bird was in the gym, fine-tuning his shot, dissecting the game, and sharpening his mind. By the time he reached high school, he was not just another talented player, he was already a local legend in Indiana, a place where basketball is more than sport. It is a way of life. After a crushing playoff loss in 1983, Bird made himself a vow. No more falling short. He pushed harder, trained longer, and locked in with a relentless focus. That promise paid off. In 1984, Bird led the Celtics into a legendary final showdown against his college rival, Magic Johnson. It was a 7-game war, pure basketball theater, and the Celtics emerged victorious, snatching the championship from the Lakers and re-establishing Boston's dominance. When Bird eventually retired from playing, he did not fade into obscurity. Instead, he shifted into a different role, still shaping the game, but from behind the curtain. In 1997, he returned as head coach of the Indiana Pacers. With no prior coaching experience, he skipped the learning curve entirely, guiding the Pacers to a franchise best 58-24 record in his first season, finishing right behind Michael Jordan's Bulls. That run earned him NBA Coach of the Year in 1998, making him only the 4th rookie coach in league history to win the honor. And here's the kicker, he had already won Rookie of the Year as a player. That is not just greatness, that is legendary. Bird's career stands as a blueprint of what relentless hustle, leadership, and vision can achieve from the front court to the front office. Now, a new era is taking shape, and her name is Caitlin Clark. She is not simply scoring points. She is breaking systems, crushing outdated expectations, and claiming the spotlight with authority. She is proving that a rookie does not have to stay quiet, grind in the shadows, and politely wait for their turn. Caitlin Clark has rewritten that rulebook. She is fearless, unapologetic, and flipping the entire energy of women's basketball every time she laces up. When she checks into a game, the spotlight does not just find her, it locks onto her. She thrives under pressure, welcoming it like an old friend. Do not get it wrong, nothing about her path has been easy. Every game is a battle. She has been elbowed, shoved, hit with unnecessary fouls, and booed like the villain in someone else's drama. Opponents act as though she does not belong, as if she has not earned her place. But here is the twist. Clark feeds on it, the hate, the disrespect, the physical punishment. It only fuels her fire. Every hard hit just makes her push harder. She is not backing down, she is taking over. While some players are chasing attention or complaining about playing time, Caitlin is locked in on one thing, winning. She commands the floor, delivers pinpoint passes, sinks shots under pressure, and leads like she has been doing this for a decade. In the process, she is packing arenas and driving record-breaking viewership numbers. And here's the wildest part, she is only 23 years old. Calm, composed, and steady, she has ice in her veins and the poise of a veteran. Larry Bird, one of the sharpest basketball minds alive, sees exactly what makes her different. Because true greatness recognizes greatness is not just her talent, it is her grit, her relentless drive, and her refusal to back down from anyone. Larry Bird has been through the wars of basketball. He's faced seasoned veterans, taken his share of punishing hits, and fought through every kind of matchup the game could throw at him. But even he admits that his own journey never came with the relentless spotlight and pressure that Caitlin Clark carries on her shoulders every single night. Still, no matter how deafening the noise gets, Clark never wavers. She doesn't flinch. She doesn't fold. To Bird, she isn't just impressive, she is the future of women's basketball. She's living proof that the game isn't simply evolving, it's surging forward faster, bigger, and more electrifying than ever before. Clark isn't here to tiptoe around or quietly fit into outdated rules. She's rewriting the entire script, how the game is played, how it's watched, and how it's respected. Every time she gets knocked down, she comes back even stronger. She's not just winning games. She's capturing attention, changing perceptions, and turning the culture of the league upside down. And Larry Bird, he's not just applauding from the stands, he's fully invested emotionally, mentally, and strategically. He's riding alongside her because he sees the bigger picture. Caitlin isn't only battling defenders on the court, she's going up against an entire system that still tries to box women's basketball into a smaller space than it deserves. Bird's done watching from the sidelines. He's ready to break that box apart. Right now, the WNBA stands at a turning point. Will it finally embrace unfiltered talent and true superstar energy? Or will it continue to be dragged down by jealousy, weak leadership, and backroom politics, risking the one player who could take the entire league to new heights? Larry's answer couldn't be clearer. Caitlin Clark isn't the problem, she's the solution to him. She's more than just a phenomenal athlete, she's a movement. The spark women's basketball has been waiting for. Her toughness, poise, and relentless drive are already reshaping the sport and proving she's worth protecting. Because when you protect her, you protect the future of the game. Bird's message to the league isn't a polite suggestion, it's a direct challenge. Caitlin Clark is the blueprint, bold, fearless, and built for a global stage. He's daring the WNBA to rise with her or watch it all fall apart. The question now is simple. Will the WNBA stand behind everything Clark brings? Or will it keep letting politics, jealousy, and unchecked hate dull her shine? Bird sees what many league executives are too afraid to say out loud. While some dismiss her as just a viral moment destined to fade, Bird knows better. He sees the big picture. Caitlin Clark is no passing trend, she's a foundation to build upon. Supporting her isn't charity, it's the smartest investment the league could make in securing its future before someone else does. He's seen what happens when greatness is nurtured and when it's neglected. He's witnessed raw talent being wasted because no one stepped up to shield it from cheap shots, dirty fouls, and toxic locker room politics that drive stars away before they reach their peak. This isn't just about one player, it's about the very identity of the WNBA. Fans aren't coming to watch petty grudges, endless fouls, and on-court drama. They're here for the magic, the skill, the heart, the unforgettable moments that make basketball feel alive. And Caitlin Clark is that magic. She's breaking records, bringing in millions of new fans, and creating buzz on a scale women's basketball has never seen. But if the league keeps failing to protect its most valuable player, those fans might walk away and they may never return. Larry Bird isn't just tossing out warnings, he's presenting a vision. With decades of experience building championship teams, he knows exactly how to create something that lasts. If the WNBA refuses to act, he might just create it himself. Imagine a franchise built around Caitlin Clark, where raw skill gets genuine respect, and leadership actually leads. Word is, Bird is even considering launching an entirely new League One, built on excellence, not ego, on progress, not politics. If he does, the basketball landscape might never look the same again.